A very warm welcome to all of you into today's discussion. My name is Hansa, and today I will be talking on prospect theory, which means simply how loss affects humans differently than gains. So let's move ahead. So, prospect theory has its origin from expected utility theory, which is employed in economics mostly. According to this perspective, people are more likely to choose gain over loss. The prospect theory holds that individuals are more influenced by the possibility of a loss than the prospect of an equivalent gain. The theory of loss aversion came to notice through prospect theory. It was during 1979, which was given by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. The general principle underlying this premise was that human beings are more sensitive to losses than we are to gains. Daniel Kahneman was one of the true giants of economic thinking who was a Nobel Prize winning psychologist. Kahneman's work on rationality of decision making in human being was instrumental. He, in collaboration with Amos Tversky, developed the prospect theory, which explains how people make decisions under uncertainty. In fact, in one of his books, it's a very renowned book by Daniel Kahneman, entitled as Thinking Fast and Slow. He wrote that our brain has two systems. One is intuitive, fast brain, based on heuristics and it takes automatic decisions and is creative. So that's one of the brain, system one. And there is another brain, if we call it system two. System two is the slow brain, which is conscious. It takes logical decisions and does calculations and analysis. So based on this, there are 3 points which we are going to discuss a little briefly. So let's move on. So the three key features we will be discussing about in prospect theory are loss aversion, reference point, and risk seeking and risk averse behavior. So let's focus on the first one, that is loss aversion. So the most important dimension which was opened up by his research was that he explained how people tend to feel the pain of losses more strongly than the pleasure of gains, which is a phenomena. This phenomena is termed as loss aversion. For example, if someone is to give you say $30 as opposed to taking $30 away from you, you would be more sensitive to that someone taking the money away than giving it to you. This mental phenomena does have a particular influence on economics in terms of buying and selling decisions. In fact, a research portrays that humans are more likely to buy something for equivalent market value than they are to sell it just because of the fact that they have ownership over it. So spontaneously they think more highly of it and place more value on that particular thing. Therefore, humans are only willing if in a higher rate, if they are selling in a higher rate than what the market would say it is for purchasing. which again is a phenomena known as endowment effect. On the other hand, reference point represents neutral or baseline value that individuals use as a benchmark to evaluate and compare the potent outcomes, gains, and losses. The idea of reference point highlights the subjective and the context-dependent nature of decision making, emphasizing that individuals' choices and preferences are often influenced by how they perceive and frame their options relative to a reference point. Now, coming to the third feature, that is risk-seeking and risk-averse behavior. So just by the term, we can understand that risk-averse, or in fact risk-seeking individuals are those individuals who tend to work with higher uncertainty, and they have probably made peace with their potential losses which might occur, which certainly might have occurred in the past. Again, risk-averse individuals tend to avoid taking risk and would instead settle for less rewarding but certain decision and forego riskier but more rewarding choice. Just so let's move on to the next slide. So this representation, that is this deviation, like from a point of reference, say for example this concave for gains, concave lines which are going, it's implying risk aversion, and the convex one, that is for losses, that is risk seeking. Okay, and the steeper, that is for losses, that is for gains, that is loss aversion. So primarily, prospect theory is all about how the analysis of decision is made under risk in this context. So let's now move ahead to the application part of the prospect theory. So most importantly, the theory is used in measuring the utility under risk. To understand the concept of probability weighing for gains and losses, in studying the loss aversion tendency of investors, to explain the violation of some of the properties of expected utility theory, and finally it explains how investors take decisions. That's about it for today. Thank you.